Welcome to the studio. It's Froyle here. I'm so glad you've joined me. Another exciting episode of fabulous mixed media techniques. Now, a few months ago, my beautiful friend Cathleen from Cos Creations sent me a gift. Have a look at this magnificent box of goodies full of fabulous, beautiful paint supplies and the wonderful, glorious Little Piggies pigments. Say that really fast. Little Piggy pigments. These powdered pigments are absolutely beautiful, very metallic, and today I get to play with them as we're going to combine some jelly prints with these fabulous fluid art techniques. Look at the incredible colors that Cathleen sent me. You would think that she might know me just a little. Glorious warm tones in golden yellow, quinacridone magenta, trans yellow oxide and red oxide. They're rich and luxurious colors and I can't wait to get stuck into this. Then there's the beautiful Little Piggies powdered pigments, which I'm going to mix with the gloss gel medium that came in my box of goodies so I can swatch it out and have a look at the beautiful colors. They mix really easily. They're beautiful and soft. Oh man, they just feel so good. Now these colors are in Bloodstone, Burnt Sierra, Harvest Gold and Mango. Absolutely amazing colors and they've dried up just as beautiful. Yes, it's going to be a lot of fun. Now I've decided to go with whatever I can find in my cupboard to mix with these fabulous pigments. So I pulled out some paper cups and some stirring sticks and some gloss medium. I'm putting a little bit in the bottom, adding the fabulous powdered pigments and giving them a really good mix. You've got to dissolve the pigments to make them very fluid. Now today my approach is a little bit of a dash and splash. I'm adding a dash of this and a splash of that. And I'm using what I can find. Now I've got some fabulous Liquitex pouring medium, so I'm going to add my mixed up pigments with the pouring medium to create the paint that I'm putting on the canvas. You have to make sure you give the pigments a really good mix, especially thoroughly once you add that pouring medium, because you don't want there to be any lumps or crunchy bits, because we're creating beautiful fluid art today. And it's a whole lot of fun. Now I added a little deep violet into my palette because I was just a little worried that the magenta might be a bit too pink and I wanted a deeper tone so it would balance out all of the other beautiful colors. A little bit of a splash of the Liquitex deep violet into the cup and then some pouring medium. It's going to be beautiful. I just know it. Now I've pulled out my 12 by 16 inch canvas. It's a nice little one, easily manageable, especially when you're experimenting. And I found these plastic little pieces that are going to work well for feet under my canvas. You want to elevate your canvas so that the paint can pour over the sides and not pool at the bottom. And these were actually feet that were for a plastic set of drawers that I didn't need. So I threw them in my box of mark making bits and pieces. There's amazing things in that box and they're going to work really well to sit under my canvas. Oops, now I forgot to add, you want to get some gloves. The pouring medium is water-based and you can wash it off with soap and water, but it's really difficult and it takes a really long time. And if you're going to be pouring the paint all over your hands, oh man, it's really difficult to get it off. So put on some fabulous little disposable plastic gloves, easy peasy. Also, on that note of health and safety, powdered pigment isn't really good to inhale or digest, so you might want to use a mask when you're using the powdered pigments so it doesn't blow up into your face. Just a thought, if you're worried about health concerns, you need to protect yourself. Gloves and a mask are always a good idea, especially when you're experimenting and you don't actually know what's in those ingredients. Okay, I'm feeling brave now. We're ready to go. And I'm pouring the beautiful, luxurious paint onto the canvas, tipping it around so that it covers. I want a really good coverage of the colors. I haven't got any Floetrol and we're not creating any cell activators. I just want to look at the beautiful colors of these paints and pigments and cover my canvas to create a background that I can then add a jelly print to. I know it's a little bit of an experimental idea, but what could possibly go wrong? The colors are looking absolutely lush, deep and rich, and just how I like them. Now you have to let it sit and you have to leave it alone, probably overnight, so that it can completely dry. And depending on the level of your table or how you've stabilized your canvas, the fluid paint is going to flow in any slight direction. So if there's a slight tilt in your canvas or your table's not level, all of the paint will flow in that direction. Yes, I have played with fluid art before and I have found that it does flow and continues to flow for quite some time while it's drying. So you really have to make sure your table is stable and level and that your canvas is sitting flat so that it will dry all nice and beautiful and not entirely pour off the canvas. Of course, how could I stop there? I'm on a roll now. I'm painting. I'm back in the beautiful, luxurious color zone. I can't stop now. So I pulled out another 12 by 16 canvas and this time I'm starting with Titan Buff on the canvas so it gives something for the pigmented paint pours to actually hang on to. I'm thinking that a nice creamy base could work really well with these beautiful colors, and this time I'm going to leave out the magenta and just really focus on the golden, bronzy, coppery glory of the pigments. I also found some iridescent pouring medium, which is really beautiful, very white but with an iridescent tint to it. Found it in the back of the cupboard. Yay! It's going to work really well with this palette of colors, so I'm putting that on as well with my other beautiful piggy pigments. And I've decided I want to do a striped composition because I do have a jelly print that I want to add to this painting. In the back of my mind I'm thinking this could work really well, so I'm adding the paint in vertical strips and tilting the canvas just so it flows up and down. But you know, it is fluid paint, so it is kind of going to creep off into its own flow, and especially when you have the different densities of the pigment and the iridescent paint and the full body paint, it does tend to create its own organic lines, which is fabulous and beautiful, and I can't wait to see how it dries. Have a look at the glorious metallic pigments. Oh man, this is going to be beautiful. So then I set it down. Gotta leave it alone again. It has to dry. Can't wait to see what it's going to look like. Hope it doesn't keep flowing off my canvas too much. But we'll see. Right, now the first painting has dried up. Look how glorious it is. Look at the depths of the colors and the shine. I just love it. Oh, I remember now what I used to create with fluid paint. It's just so beautiful. So I've got the jelly print that I want to add to it. It's one that I did a few weeks ago using the ginkgo leaves. Oh man, this was the best bargain for less than $5. Put them on the plate with the fabulous Liquitex muted pink. They looked glorious. Pulled the print with Amsterdam bronze and it looks beautiful. So I'm giving it a bit of a snip, cutting around it to put it on my canvas, and I'm hoping it's going to look amazing. Now I've put it on my canvas with gloss medium, and you do have to wait for your jelly print to completely dry. Like not my kind of almost dry, but really completely, absolutely, entirely dry. Otherwise, when you put more layers onto the paper, it could crinkle and buckle under the weight of the wet paint. Because I do want to add another layer to this. It's looking really good. It's heading into a fabulous direction, but I love the idea of embedding that jelly print into the canvas some more by creating another layer on top. So make sure your jelly print is completely dry before you add any more. Okay, so while we're waiting for the jelly print to dry on the first painting, let's have a look at how beautiful the second painting has dried up. It's looking rather glorious, and this print here is the one that I want to put on this painting. I did this print last week using my stencils onto a black and white printed Gelli print that I had created already with my masks. I know, I just keep compounding the techniques. And if you stick with me, you never know where we're going to end up. I'm really liking this print. The colors are beautiful. You see why I was thinking about that vertical line? Because that's how this print is. It has these great vertical lines with the fabulous Dance Move stencil in the awesome stencil butter. But I'm thinking originally I was going to put the print on in a vertical format, but looking at my painting, it really has a beautiful organic flow to it. It's a lot more curvaceous than I first thought it might be because, like I said, the fluid paint likes to move as it's drying. So I think we need to go with the curves. Let's create a circle. I'm going to pull out my circle maker. And this one is basically the side plate from the kitchen, but it's going to work really well. Put the plate on the gel print, draw around it, cut the circle out, voila, it's created. Now what I want to do is put it on the side of the canvas and tip it over the edge and tuck it round because it's going to look really good. But before I put it on the canvas, I decided to actually paint around the edge because I really like the sides all neat and finished, and I want it to be finished and neat before I actually put that print on because I don't want to have to paint around it later. It's just going to work better if I do it first. So sides are all painted. It's looking fabulous. Let's get the gel print on. I'm thinking that this could work out quite well. So I've glued that on with gloss gel medium, and what are we going to do next? I'm thinking, do I want to add some more to the end? Do I want to put some more of my Dance Move shapes? Oh man, there's so many decisions of what to do. We could take it in so many different directions. I could maybe collage another piece down here of the beautiful Dance Moves Gelli print paper, but I don't know, man. I don't think I want to distract from this beautiful shape here. And the colors of the painting are so beautiful. I really don't want to add anything on this section here either. So how am I going to resolve this? Well, I'm loving the paintwork. I'm loving my piece of Gelli print there. I think it works really well. I don't want to add anything else. So let's change the composition. Why don't we turn it up this way? And then I think I'm a lot happier. I think the composition looks stronger up this way. I'm absolutely loving that shape now sitting at the bottom. Also, you can really enjoy all of this beautiful flowing paint in the glorious metallic colors. And I'm thinking that's the solution. The sides are now painted. All I have to do is put a string on the back and hang it on the wall, and voila, absolutely beautiful original artwork. What do you think? Doesn't it look glorious? Great solution to a beautiful experiment. So then what about the first painting? Well, late last night I put the second layer of the beautiful pouring medium with the Piggy's pigments. I used the same ones that I had from the first background. I'm quite surprised at how far I actually got coverage from the amounts that I mixed up in those cups, because they really wasn't a huge amount, but it covered really well. But this layer here I put on late last night, and it's still a little wet. The pouring medium takes forever to dry. Well, at least more than one night. So there's a little bit of cloudiness in here and here because it's still wet. So if you've got cloudy spots in your painting, just wait. Don't put anything on it. Don't lean it against anything. It's going to still be wet underneath the skim layer of the paint. I put the pouring medium on the top and down to here, and then I put a few little brush strokes of the magenta and the gold in here, and then this beautiful copper color, which is called Burnt Sierra, I think. The Piggy's Pigment, absolutely beautiful. Love, love, love the way it's caught on there and it's flowing up. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's worked really well. The pigments are beautiful. I can see the metallic shine to it. And if you use the pigments with a lot of the pouring medium, the clear medium, it makes them more like a glaze. It makes them more transparent, and you can then add them on top of your gel print. If you put too much paint pigment on top of this second layer, then you're going to actually cover your beautiful print. Yes, I have done that before. So with this kind of experiment, you really want to play around with transparent colors and put the second layer on a lot lighter and a lot more pouring medium so you can actually see through it. I think it's looking rather beautiful. I'm pretty happy with it. I wanted to incorporate the jelly print into the painting. I wanted to embed it into the canvas to make it look more of a uniformed surface layer, and I'm pretty happy because I think I achieved that goal. So we just got to let it dry, put a string on it, it'll be ready to hang, or you can go to my shop and find it there. I've got a beautiful selection of new artworks hitting the shop as I keep experimenting with more fabulous mixed media techniques. Thanks for joining me today. I really enjoyed experimenting with the beautiful Piggy pigments and the other glorious paints that my beautiful friend Cathleen sent me. Thank you so much. I love the colors. Of course, I adore the metallic shine on those pigments, but then you knew that I would. I'm going to have a little bit more experiment with all of these glorious paints and the application. The fluid paint with the jelly prints, I think we could actually explore that a little bit more. Don't forget, you can find more information in the description under the video, and have a look at froilart.com for more beautiful paintings or stencils. Hello, don't forget the brand new Dance Move stencils. You'll find everything there. See you next time in the studio.